You okay, buddy?
I don't know what it was. Same thing it did last week.
You know what I
Just
mean?
had to write it out for.
Didn't
Just
do
had
it
to write it
earlier
out for a
this
second.
week.
Nah, just
Hey, listen, we don't know, man.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on.
We don't know what's up with the timer. We just appreciate the fact that even though it wasn't moving, you waited. That's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? What it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage, no hat, the homie Sin, fresh cut, the homie.
Yes,
listen,
sir.
folks, on time. Everybody's doing something different today. People is doing their own thing. You are now tuned into Cutscenes, where we get together once a week and we talk about things that are happening in video games because cutscenes are
the best part of the game.
We can't hear you, Jokes. I don't know if you did that on purpose because you got an airy background, but I don't hear you, sir. Do that again. Just do it again. Because cutscenes are
the best part of the game.
There he is.
There you go.
Oh, right. Look at here. We got a action-packed and very interesting show for y'all. We're gonna talk about some acquisitions on Sony's part. We're gonna talk about exclusives within the industry. We're gonna talk about Xbox and Battlefield doing a partnership. His best Xbox announcer voice. Let me hear your best Xbox announcer voice, Jokes.
Which one you want to mean? The exclusive, John? That what you're talking about?
Yeah, come on. I'm assuming that it must be that
exclusive.
Hey, why you turn like that when you did it? That's what I want to know.
Oh no!
Does it not work if you don't turn? Is it like turning down your radio when you get lost? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you got to warm it up first.
Right. What, KB? Hey, you need to close up on Sin Fresh Cut. Man, Sin need to close up on this Fresh Cut.
It is like therapy, Cuddy. You understand that? I needed it. I was feeling off.
I don't. I'm gonna watch this joint though. Tomorrow, I think. We'll see. It's time. So check this out. Earlier this week, PlayStation announced that they had acquired Housemarque, which probably doesn't really mean anything to y'all. KB.
What up, KB?
Nothing but nuts happening. It's bananas right here. KB, did you see the trailer they dropped today for the director's cut for Ghost of Tsushima? I would like to know what you think about that.
Probably upset.
Oh, idiot. Housemarque. Jokes, what do you know about Housemarque?
I forget what game it was. I read the article. No, Housemarque is the. Nope, I don't remember. I ain't even gonna try.
Wow. All right, Sin, I'm gonna let you have a go at it.
They did Returnal.
Yeah, we just talked about
that's what I know him for. Returnal.
That's it.
Honestly, yeah. I think from what I remember of we talking about before, I didn't play like any of their other stuff. Like they weren't like games I would gravitate to or anything like that.
Correct, sir. The only other game that they have that we played together, we played now I can't think of it. I was just talking to you about it yesterday with the blue dude and the red dude. It's actually Outland.
Outland. Yeah.
Which was dope. I played some other stuff. Resogun. I maintain that Resogun was probably the best game on PS4 from PS4's release, probably through its like second year. Like there just was no better exclusive joint on there. A lot of people are talking about Returnal. You know, there's some back and forth about Returnal because there were some people who I think felt like Returnal shouldn't be a $70 game. But those who played it seem to really, really dig it. It looks incredible. I played it because it's one of the only PlayStation 5 exclusives. So there's that, and there's Ratchet and Clank, and that's basically it in terms of PS5 and Demon Souls. I think it's only 3 right now. But here's the thing: Returnal has a long and like history with PlayStation, and they've been putting out bangers. But most of what they put out have been more like arcade, like shooters. When a couple years ago in like 2017, maybe it was 2018. I think it was 2017 though. They put out a like a series of tweets or like a blog saying this ain't working. Like these arcade games, they not selling. You know, they're critically acclaimed. We do these games that are like they're very, very well received critically, but they don't sell, and that's not what it is. We're gonna have to, you know, we're gonna have to do something different. They started development on what was like a first person shooter, and then that they abandoned that, and they ended up doing Returnal. Okay, I'm gonna have to switch to my TV streaming platform. These YouTube messages coming in too slow. Dig it. Cuddy said, so big deal on acquirement or small in comparison to Microsoft acquisitions. That remains to be. Well, no, it doesn't really remain to be. No, it's small. It is a small developer. Here's the thing that I find that's very interesting about this. Housemarque, since the PlayStation 3, has been making games exclusively for PlayStation. The only game in their arsenal that is not PlayStation exclusive is the one game Sin and I just mentioned, and that game was published by Ubisoft. We played it as an Xbox Live arcade game, so that's 360 era.
Yeah.
So for probably 15 years, give or take, they've been making games essentially exclusively for PlayStation anyway. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really understand the relationship, to be real. I think they make great stuff. Again, their stuff is always critically acclaimed. Returnal certainly hit a button for them somewhere. But I actually, it made me really think this particular acquisition, because a lot of people were comparing it. Like if you looked at Twitter when they made the announcement, there were a lot of people who were comparing it to like, you know, Microsoft and Xbox grabbing Bethesda and all of those studios and, you know, kind of what they've done. What's up, G?
This
is not even close.
Yeah, I'm about to say Bethesda has so much under their belt. Like that's not even a close comparison at all.
It's not, but here's the thing. So they also recently grabbed up Insomniac. And Insomniac has also almost their entire lifespan made games exclusively for PlayStation. Almost like there's the one anomaly, which right now there's a lot of rumors that we may see a Sunset Overdrive or a Sunset Overdrive 2 get released for PlayStation now that they've been acquired, and because Insomniac does own the IP. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, why did it take Sony so long to buy them? Where was Insomniac just that reluctant and wanted to remain independent? Because you would think if that was the case,
they'd be dropping stuff everywhere
across the board.
Yeah.
For other platforms, Nintendo, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, but that hasn't been the case. So it's really, really weird to me. It's the same thing with Housemarque. It makes me wonder why it's taken so long for. Hey, listen, man. You know, Spoiler Boys don't drop until Mondays. G, what you doing, man?
My man wants that super early exclusive.
Like every week with cutscenes and Spoiler Boys, not Spoiler Boys, weekly.
Somebody's in there. You got any more of that Spoiler Boys over there?
We got to talk about this episode.
Got any more of that Spoiler Boys over
there, bro? Listen, man. Yeah, you missing out, dog. You know, it's a little weird to me that they've decided to buy them. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. My current opinion is that they have only purchased them because they need to, because Game Pass is a threat. That's what I think. If it would have made sense to me if they had purchased them 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you know, whatever. along those lines, when they made the announcement that they picked up Housemarque, whoever it is that posted the tweet made a mistake and put the wrong developer up. They put Bluepoint up. Same background as the one they put up Housemarque. They put up Bluepoint. So the rumor is that Bluepoint, that low-key is fire. Listen, we got come on, it came out. Hey, listen, exercise a little patience, take some time, think about what happened before y'all get into Spoiler Boys. Because when Spoiler Boys hit you on Monday, it's gonna mess your head up.
Then it's gonna mess you up.
Mess you up. My man said I need it. I got to have it.
No.
What? That's about to be wrong, dog. That's about to be wrong.
I'm glad you caught it, though.
Yep. So they probably also bought or are in the process of buying Bluepoint, which also makes sense because Bluepoint has basically only done remakes and remasters for PlayStation. Like that's basically been it, right? So that's what the relationship has been. Why do y'all? What is the? I mean, again, am I off track? Like, again, I'm feeling like they probably only made these acquisitions because Game Pass is a threat. And when I say that, what it says to me is that the industry is talking about what Game Pass is doing. If y'all saw over the weekend, when Game Pass was trending on Twitter, it was sickening, bruh.
Dog, people was like, what is this Game Pass?
It was sickening, bruh. It was anybody and everybody and their mama and their grandmother and their estranged husband. Like, dog, they was all talking about Game Pass and getting it for $1 and all these games you can get and day one and all. Like, it was disgusting. And it was so bad that, like, you know, people was like, oh, they must be paying people to do this. Ain't nobody paying these people. Not this many people. Right. Like, we know Microsoft got deep pockets, but trust me, dog, if they was handing out money to talk about Game Pass, I'd be paid right now.
Hey, big facts.
This show will be sponsored by Game Pass.
What? Exclusive. Do it, jumps.
Do it.
I'll do the voice. Game Pass.
Right.
Exclusive.
Let's see. So Kay said, well, I think it's important for them to acquire those studios because in the past, companies like Square or Rockstar got too big and went to other platforms, and they won't be able to buy them later. I mean, I definitely think that's part of it. If they were smart, they would allow those games on the Xbox platform. They need to structure the longevity to compete with Game Pass. I mean, I agree with you. There's a part of me that says they're not even sitting at the table talking to these companies who have traditionally only made games for them anyway. Like, if you think about it, there's no reason for me to walk in here and say, like, listen, man, I don't know how y'all treat, you know, y'all significant others, man. But look, if you've been together forever, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to buy it if it's there. So they've been there the whole time. Yeah. Insomniac made one jump. They jumped ship one time. You know what I'm saying? One time. Ghost. Yeah. Like, we not, you know what I mean? But think about it. The one game Insomniac made, Sunset Overdrive for Xbox. Right now, if Microsoft put that joint on Game Pass, the numbers are going to jump.
You're going to skyrocket.
The number of people who will just be like, oh, I try that joint. Oh, these brands that made the new Ratchet and Clank joint. Yeah,
I'm trying that joint.
You will see that joint skyrocket. The way that indie developers are talking right now, the way that even major developers are talking about the kind of money they're getting, what they're seeing, people buying, it has to have put some fear in them, to me. Because
even so, with the reports coming out that devs are saying like Sony's difficult to work with.
Correct.
I've heard that. I've definitely heard that before.
I've been seeing that a lot. Yeah.
Indie developers out there on Twitter this week bashing Platform X, but literally saying, if you don't know who Platform X is, it's one of the major consoles and it doesn't have Game Pass.
Hey, is that a hint that Game Pass is coming to the Nintendo Switch?
Right. Like you know, it's when they're talking about lack of communication, and not seeming like they care about indies, struggling to get dev kits, struggling to even put your joint on sale without having to jump through hoops. You know what I mean? Or pay some kind of crazy amount to be able to get, to be able to be seen. And that is, I mean, there have also been reports that like Sony is leaning really, really heavily into the AAA. We're only doing this. We've been seeing reports of them like shutting down certain studios, you know what I mean? And things like that, forcing them to work with other people. Some of the smaller developers having to be like backup studios for like Naughty Dog and, stuff like that. Sony devs are elite like Apple. They don't care. Listen. There is something to be said about being at the head of the table and how long it takes, depending on how long that table is. Video games got a real long table. Sony's sitting at the head of the table. It takes much longer to get your food to the end of the table. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? From one end to the other. It takes much longer for you to get that. So it may be taking longer for them to feel the waves that are beginning to kick in from what is happening in the industry. But everybody else is starting to see it. Like, there's just no two ways about it. Mm-hmm. And if they didn't care, I don't think they would have bought Housemarque. I don't think we hear news about them buying Blue Point. I certainly don't see news that we saw today. So I'll just pop this little tweet up that came out earlier today. So Herman Host, who was the head of Guerrilla Games and is now running Sony Worldwide Studios, says excited to announce that the talented Dutch studio Nixxes Software will be joining PlayStation Studios. It's a real pleasure to welcome a team with such deep technical expertise and vast experience to the PlayStation family. Huge congrats to everyone at Nixxes Software. Now, for anyone who is not familiar with Nixxes Software and who they are a company, a developer that their expertise is in creating PC ports, taking console games and making them PC ports, which is a thing that Sony is now leaning into.
Yep.
After years of saying must be on console, must be console exclusive, we're not putting our stuff there. Clearly starting to see that money roll in. You know what I mean? As people playing on PC and that money's starting to hit because it's coming in. You're seeing games like what's the Kojima joint? Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Killing it on Steam. Killing it on Steam when it dropped, right?
Yeah. And honestly, it's like that joint dropping brand new because it's like it's going to a batch of people that never had access to it. So it's literally like you releasing the whole game from square one all over.
When the same thing with Horizon Zero Dawn when they dropped it.
Correct. Yeah, correct. But more importantly, not people who didn't have access to it, because all of them could have. What is happening is it means that they're beginning to realize that their philosophy of if you want to play these great games that everybody's talking about and are getting these great scores, you will buy a PlayStation. Nope. You will buy a PlayStation. No, I won't.
Nope.
I don't care that much. There are so many games on PC. I'm not even really thinking about your little rinky-dink console joint. You know what I mean? I'm a beast. I got a beast joint here. Your joint don't run on the beast? Too bad for you. I'm not doing it, right? So at some point, and again, like Microsoft has always had their hands in PC. So it's not like, and I'm sure that there was a time when in some manner, Sony had sight to that same kind of thing with PCs back when they were selling PCs, even though all those PCs ran Windows. But when Sony Vios were a thing, they probably had a little more insight and might have been something like, what they would do. Look, G said they have to be elite with their first party. Not true. Because what would be considered with elite with their first party, they are now taking and putting them on PC. And so, sure, elite first party, you still see Sony again when you start seeing them make changes like, well, we need a PlayStation Studios logo so that when we put these games elsewhere, which is what I said the minute they announced that. We put these games elsewhere. We want people to see PlayStation. We want people to associate these games with PlayStation. So the term console exclusive being thrown around a lot more now, specifically because we're seeing games go to PC. Now, How long will you have to wait for them to go to PC? It was a little sad to see Sony move away from Vio, but like, hey dog, if you bought a Vio right now and you couldn't put an SD card in that joint because you needed a memory stick, you'd be upset.
Facts.
They did this, look, it's been the same thing with their cameras, proprietary inputs, just for their power supply, bro. Like,
dog.
Again, it is a smart business strategy, but it is not consumer friendly in the NWO. You know what I mean? If I don't think, and Greg's talking about casual gamers, I don't really think casual gamers. I don't even know what a casual gamer is anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a time when it was like you're a casual gamer if you just play like on your phone. But now the games that are on the phone are so in depth. People who are playing on the phone spend way more money than console players spend.
What?
And they are locked in, dog.
I got a friend.
You only play one joint. Like, how can you call somebody a casual gamer?
I got a friend of mine who plays one of them. He plays one of them RPG joints on the phone or whatever. When I say has dumped probably hundreds into this game,
probably more.
Dog.
Probably more. Yeah, like it's
probably
ridiculous.
More.
Dragon Ball Legends.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, there is something to be said for the fact that you have companies like EA that just spent $1.4 billion to buy a single mobile developer who has one game.
Raid Shadow Legends.
I was about to say, that might be it.
Act like you don't see that joint everywhere.
Everywhere.
That might be the
Shadow Legends everywhere, dog. Like, it's sick. So, like, I'm happy for Housemarque, right? Because hopefully it really does mean they will have some money behind them to really do, like, with what they did with Returnal is leaps and bounds above in terms of moving up to AAA, leaps and bounds above what they have been doing in terms of just like basically putting out like arcade kind of stuff. And maybe that's not what they want to do. You know what I mean? Maybe they want to keep doing arcade stuff or whatever. And again, the realization is just like, that's not going to put money on the table.
Right.
But maybe it would if the games they wanted to make was going in Game Pass.
Or PC,
you understand what I'm saying? Like,
just wherever.
Well,
Game Pass. That's one of those things where like that talking about, again, because Game Pass is also PC, right? So talking about it is a big deal. Game Pass is beginning to permeate in ways that I don't think people are realizing. Like, we know it, but even people who are tied to us aren't quite seeing. You know what I mean? Hey, look, G, I hear you, right? It's not consumer friendly, but if people really want it, and it's in short supply, listen. If people really want it, and it's in short supply, the reality of it is they'll just eventually go get it somewhere else. They'll just go do something else. People will just stop following the platform. Like, that's just when you really want something and there's only one place to get it, and that place doesn't have it. You move on to something else. Like, that's human nature. It's human nature. So, like, right now, there's a lot of people who are waiting to get their hands on a PlayStation 5. Right? In the meantime, Microsoft is making moves that are like, you don't even really got to get an Xbox Series X if you don't want to. Play on your laptop. Play on your phone. Play on your Xbox One. We're going to hook you up with the cloud. Like, just get in Game Pass. Like, literally, the game is changing in front of them. I listened to an interview with Phil Spencer yesterday where they were talking about like what the future of Xbox is, and them, like the possibility that like, all right, are y'all going to just drop another console in like a year? You know what I'm saying? Like a mid-tier, whatever. And he was like, nah, I mean, I really think that we're in a great place with having the S and having the X and with cloud, right? And then he was like, now realistically, he was like, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's not like we're having issues selling consoles. Everything we put out sells. So it's not like that's the issue. And the chip shortage thing that's going on right now is certainly a problem. But realistically, we're taking hundreds and thousands of Xbox Series X's and putting them into our cloud servers. We could sell them. We know we could sell them. We could sell them. They're not. They're not. They are by choice not making consoles and putting them out there for you to buy. They are putting them into the infrastructure for cloud. That's what it is.
I think that's a smart move.
It is a smart move.
Yeah, going for yeah.
It's a business decision, and it is the kind of thing that is changing the game right in front of you. What is going on? I really hope PlayStation does pick up Bluepoint, because there are some PlayStation classics I would love to see them remake. Mm-hmm. And that's what Bluepoint does. Mm-hmm. So they're picking up a remake specialist. They picked up technically an arcade specialist, and they just picked up a PC port specialist. So they're making some moves. They see things happening, and they're trying to make some things happen. And I think that's smart. I think it's smart and it makes a lot of sense. I feel like maybe whatever's going on with Bluepoint, we won't actually find out until, there's rumors that Sony's going to have a state of play or something coming up next month. Mm-hmm. We know that EA has EA Play on July 22nd. Mm-hmm. So that means that whatever Sony's doing is probably going to be earlier in July. I'd give them 2 weeks. So let's say probably the week after 4th of July. Because I doubt they're going to want to drop it right when, or they're not doing anything in July. Because I doubt they'll drop it like they could drop right in front of EA Play. Hey, listen, I
would love to have a Bouncer remake.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. But the Bouncer is a SquareSoft game.
Yep.
So Bluepoint's not getting their hands on that. That's a Square jump. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to play it, dog, I can grab the PlayStation from right there. Down, boy. That joint's sitting on the hard drive on the PlayStation radio.
That joint was fire.
What?
Oh, I wouldn't mind running to do that again. Oh.
Yeah, the Bouncer remake would be dope. Like I would love to have it, but Bluepoint ain't gonna make that. That's not gonna be for them to do. I on this note, I'm gonna pose a question to the two of you. Mm-hmm. Are exclusives bad for the industry?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think as long as it doesn't get overwhelmingly saturated. I think it's cool to have every console place have their own exclusives, but if it starts getting to the point where you can only play this massive amount of games here, this massive amount of games here, it's gonna start looking like the streaming wars, which would get frustrating.
Isn't that what it kind of
is what it is.
Isn't that what it is?
Like I don't think it's an issue.
How many Uncharted games are there?
How many what?
How many Uncharted games are there?
5,
like
6?
4.5.
Why?
No, I'm gonna say that you had that deal, like the side spinoff one, or whatever that was.
Yeah, and then the joint on PSP, it's like 6.
Yeah,
yeah. I forgot the handheld ones. Yeah.
All right. Just start naming Sony exclusives. Run it down.
Ratchet and Clank, his jump.
Okay.
Last of Us.
Okay.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
God of War.
What's the motorcycle one that they were just talking about that I got?
MotoGP?
No,
not
the
bad
one
for the industry, but it makes no sense in the world without consoles. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true.
No, the one with the zombies jokes. God, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, with the motorcycle? With them on the bike?
Yeah.
I don't know. They just
Days Gone?
Yes, Days Gone. Thank you.
Days Gone. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
There's a lot of other stuff because if you think about it, right? Like
Detroit.
Yeah, Sony also has a lot of third-party joints, like what Returnal was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's only there. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a ton of those joints. Look at Guilty Gear. Look at Street Fighter 5. You know what I'm saying? Look at, you know what I mean? So like,
Ghost.
Again, and you could Infamous. Yeah. So like,
would love another
all
Infamous
of these games. If you want to play any of these games, if you don't have a PlayStation, forget it. You ain't playing none of them. You know what I'm saying? On the flip side, there are joints like that on the Microsoft end, right? There's definitely joints like that on the Nintendo end. Other joints you can't play nowhere but Nintendo.
Most of all of them.
Right?
Yeah. So I think there's nothing wrong with it.
You feel like it's fine.
I think it's fine. Because I mean, idea too is you have these exclusives. Like let's use let's use the Switch as the example. Obviously, the Switch brings something to the table that necessarily the PS5, and the Series X don't do. Motion controls. Granted, it's a thing that's been done before, but with certain games, it's something that I think the Switch does in its own place and kind of sticks with it on there for it. Same thing. You get that experience with the haptic feedback from the PlayStation 5 controller. Like now, Xbox is asking folks, hey, is that something that you guys like that you want us to maybe feature in our controller, and we'll do that with certain games for it. So it gives you the ability to kind of have those different experiences from it. And you can't even say like, I guess some people get upset. Like say, I guess you can't necessarily do that with like your Call of Duties of the world, but I still feel like you could have a spin-off version of a game like that is exclusive to a single console. But you wouldn't do that with like your main line of the game that you would do for it.
Actually, or not. You know what I mean? I mean, I've been seeing a lot of back and forth about this. The funny thing about it is, I don't feel like people really brought it up until Microsoft started gobbling up studios. And then I think what happened is people started feeling like stuff was being taken from them. You know what I mean? Like the idea that Elder Scrolls just ain't going to be available on PlayStation. People are like, you can't take that from me. It's the same thing that happened when Tomb Raider got announced exclusive, right? Now you didn't see that same kind of fervor when Street Fighter V
went straight to PlayStation. No.
PlayStation and you know what I mean? Like it wasn't the same. There is something specific about Microsoft that makes people upset when they do something that it's perfectly okay for Sony to do it.
We've seen that time and time again throughout the years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know if it's just because of how old PlayStation is. You know what I mean? But there's an idea that like we've talked about it here, right? That when you buy something or you pay to have something be exclusive to you for a time, it's a time exclusive, it's 4 years, for 6 months, whatever it is, or it's specific DLC or something like that, that really what you're doing, as opposed to paying to make your customers happier, you're really just paying to lock somebody else out of having a good time. And sometimes it does feel that way. Like for Uncharted to be exclusive to PlayStation doesn't feel like you ever lost anything if you were Xbox, because you never had Uncharted. Right. You never were gonna have Uncharted. But to say that like these guns in Destiny you can't have for a year
in the beginning
on Xbox, but you can have them right now, or these strikes you can't play on Xbox, but you can play them on PlayStation. That literally, I mean, again, that will sway people to buy in one place and not buy in the other. That makes sense.
Or something like Street Fighter that's been around forever in arcades, on consoles, or on 3DSs, like everything. Right. And then all of a sudden 5 comes out and now you're locked out of it completely unless you get on PlayStation.
Correct. Unless you buy, or PC.
Yeah.
Because it was also on PC. There are a lot of people who just don't have it or ain't gonna spend the money to get a PC that can run games worth anything. True. That's why console gaming isn't gonna go away. G said, hence why Sony needs to be highly curated and elite. Nintendo has the family. Microsoft has the money to control the middle ground. I personally got more than. I think Microsoft has the money to control all of it if they
have the high ground.
Yeah. In that same interview, Phil Spencer was like, "Yeah, we definitely are lacking in like family stuff. Like we got to go get some of that. We got to do some of that. You know what I mean?" But again, they're positioning themselves to not have to buy studios all the time. They don't necessarily have to get exclusivity or keep somebody else from being able to be on another platform to make as much money as you want. Their new angle is, why don't you come see what this Game Pass talking about?
Yep.
Right? And we'll drop in Game Pass day one and see what happens, right? And the numbers, again, speaking for themselves, when you're like, again, look at Sony's own sports title. even with that joint dropping day one in the Game Pass, it is like the second highest selling sports title of all time on Xbox. Of all time. And was the number one selling title the month it dropped. Even though the joint was in Game Pass. People who have Game Pass still buy games. And they get discounts on them when they do it. Like, it's just, listen, I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't know why they buying these. I don't know what's going on.
Only time you should do that is at the end of that cycle when you get that message like, "Oh, this game is being removed."
It's great. Leave, and if you're like a real fan, and
if you love the jump, you don't want to get it. Take that discount. Got it. Boom. Right. You good. But other than that, you should not be doing it. What's the joint's like $1?
I mean, listen. But again, but here's the thing: it creates buzz for the game because people are talking about it. It creates buzz for the game because people see their friends on their friends list playing it. So if you don't have Game Pass, but you see everybody playing it, you go, okay, you know what? Let me check this joint out. Everybody else playing it. Let me go ahead and buy it. You know what I mean? If you do have Game Pass, let me go ahead and download it. Let me check the joint out. Let me see what's up. Right? And then when you do, you're like, oh, all right, well, they sell all these joints. I ain't even pay for the game. So let me buy these little card joints and let me grab, you know what I mean? Like people grab the DLC. Like them joints make money. And what it's doing to the industry makes a company like Sony go, you know, we probably should go ahead and buy Housemarque, dog. You know what I'm saying? Before these joints start, you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think exclusives are bad for the industry. There is so if you look at what's happening to the industry, they might be bad for consoles. But when you're putting infrastructure in place that lets you play anywhere on anything, like if you're not like, you have to buy a console, you have to spend $500, $300 to $500 if you want to play this game. You don't have to do that because you can pay $1 for the next 3 months and have access to it for 3 months and check it out. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, because you can. It does change, I think, the argument and the idea around what exclusive really means. If something is or was exclusive to Game Pass, which is a thing that could happen, you still can play it on your computer, on your phone, on your TV, on your box. You know what I'm saying? Like you have so many options, so many choices, so many places you can play it. That it begins to feel less exclusive, which is already a thing people were complaining about when Microsoft was like, oh, yeah, we doing day one on PC and console. And people were like, that's not console exclusive. That's not exclusive. I mean, all right.
Like, shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Shut up. It's still in the Microsoft family.
You can't play it on Nintendo and you can't play it on PlayStation. Right. But it also means you don't have to spend $500 to get your hands on it. You don't have to spend $300 to get your hands on it. Play it on the joint that's in your pocket that actually cost you $1,000.
The facts.
Because your phone costs you a G, bruh.
The
you
facts.
Just paying for it over time.
Talk about
if you want to, then hook your phone up to the TV. If you want it on a bigger size screen, you monitor your TV because damn sure enough can mirror and hook that bad boy up.
Right. I mean, Zaina asked me the other day about making her Xbox my home Xbox again. Her home, you know what I'm saying? Making that joint the home Xbox again. So she could play games. And I was telling her, like, I don't mind. She was like, well, should I just make it the home Xbox or should I get Game Pass? And I was like, realistically, if you got $15 a month to spend,
do it.
You might as well just Game Pass. And she was like, I'll look into it. So she looked into it and was like, it's only like $1 for 3 months. I'll just do that. Listen to me. She was like, I'll just do that because by the time that 3 months is up, I'll be home anyway.
Like, thanks.
So I asked her, I was like, did you get it? She was like, yeah, I was playing such and such and such and such and such yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, just
PS4 SSD. Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's dope. I'm glad now. Were you able to save all your stuff, Marcus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, did you get all your stuff back? And then I happened to show her because Microsoft announced like 2 days ago that they were finally going live on iOS and Safari and what have you. And I was like, yeah, well, you could just play the joint on your phone. You only had to bring the console back. You know what I mean? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh yeah. She had her MacBook. And I was like, just go to Xbox. I said, you signed up for Game Pass, right? She was like, yeah. And I was like, go on Safari and type in xbox.com/play. You got to log in. So she went there and she was like, I gotta log. She logged in and you could just see. Literally, it was just like, started playing. I was like, yeah, you can just play these joints here. And she was like, how? And I was like, don't your Mac have, doesn't your Mac have Bluetooth? She was like, yeah. I was like, you just connect your controller to it. She was like,
yep.
And I was like, you could just do it on your phone if you want to. And she was like,
my man, all the data was in the cloud.
What's up.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you backed that up because I didn't. I made that mistake because Sony is stupid and you have to go manually do it.
Turn it on.
That's the other thing. Like you're starting to really hear people talk about the infrastructure that Microsoft has in place where people are just like, yeah, man, like this is like, it's crazy that I listen to these dudes talk about playing Sea of Thieves the other day. And they're already in playing. They're streaming the joint. This is kind of funny. They're streaming the joint. And they say to one of the other guys, you should jump in and play with us. And he was like, man, then I got to go downstairs and I have to. And they were like, man, just do it on your phone. And he was like, you know, I guess. Hooked the joint up and literally just jumped in and was running with them. And was like, oh, snap. Like, everything was there. Lag was clean. Like, joint just uploaded and brought his stuff over. Like, it's just there.
It works.
That's the key to it. It works.
Seamless. It works and it's seamless and it's easy.
And that's gonna make a difference. And I think that's gonna have a big effect on what it really means for something to be exclusive. Right? That like now it's like we're not necessarily looking to try to force people to be exclusive to us. We're not necessarily looking to try to do those deals with people. I mean, we could do those deals, but like if we're in Game Pass day one, and that means that people have access to it, all these people with phones and all these, you know, again, these monitors we're putting out and all this kind of stuff, people have access to it. It doesn't really feel like we're keeping people from it. Like if you have a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 4, and there's a game that's coming in Game Pass, it does start to make you feel some kind of way if you got to pay $60 for it. Or $70 for it, when you could just play it on your computer, or you could just play it on your phone, or once it hits TVs, it could just pop up on your TV screen. Hey, listen, I'm just going to tell y'all right now, I'm getting a tornado warning joint.
Oh no, I'm getting them too. My phone is getting it too.
So if we get disconnected, it ain't Wayne Tech. I'm just letting it be known. On that note, we have talked about Battlefield going into Game Pass. This week, EA announced that the Xbox Series X and S are the official consoles of Battlefield. What does that mean?
I mean, just coming to Game Pass eventually. That's what it means.
It's already automatically coming to Game Pass eventually because
it's EA Play. So at some point, it's still going to do it. But I mean, official console. I guess if they run any tournaments or something like that on it, they're definitely going to be. You're going to be playing this on an Xbox or possibly a PC.
Yep.
Than anything else.
Yeah, they did a deal with Nvidia.
So exclusive, maybe skins, things like that. You know, they'll probably
haven't said whether or not it's going to affect the PlayStation 4 or 5 version in any way, shape, or form. That remains to be seen, though. I'm sure if it does, I'm sure if it runs better on Xbox or something like that, I am so positive we're gonna hear people like, "Oh, they all purpose made the PlayStation joint not work."
Yeah,
they gonna play.
Yeah, they'll find a way to moan and complain about it for sure. But I agree, tournaments, everything will be running on Xboxes for facts. Yeah.
And if they do like the league, then they'll probably, that's where you'll see it really, like Xbox logos and all that good stuff show up if they try to do that.
Microsoft logos, all that, yep.
Right, no doubt. I mean, I guess it just remains to be seen.
Oh. They telling y'all.
Well, I'm about to shut this on down.
Until 9:45.
Good Lord.
Man.
Battlefield is a good game.
That thing was like, sure, y'all didn't hear me the first time?
No, that you know what that was? That was
let me say it with my chest.
No, that was like you guys are talking too much about Microsoft's plans. Y'all need to shut up because y'all getting it all right.
I mean, look, they would have had to
done that
a long time ago.
Now. I'm getting a phone call now, probably. Like, what was that?
Right. I think that's interesting. We'll see what that really means, see how it pans out. Here's what I want to know from y'all. We are officially in July. Welcome to the halfway point. Here's what I want to know. What's the best game you played so far that came out this year?
Okay.
Oh, damn. You know what? You just go ahead and...
Yeah, they try to take the whole stream, KB. They just like, shut it down. Tornadoes coming.
Pull up the game list right now because it's all on the box. And you know what? It's probably all an XS version. So that jumps on the internal.
Yeah. I got like 4 joints right now that I'm for me, standout joints are It Takes Two.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting that.
No.
Outriders, you just played a bunch.
Outriders is definite.
Yeah, that's definitely in there. Yeah.
Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Dig it.
And for me personally, Hitman 3. I know y'all didn't play that. That Hitman 3 joint is fire.
I agree with those first 3, and I'll say right now I'm really digging Scarlet Nexus.
Okay.
I'm still very early in it to keep it a buck, but so far I'm really like I want to play it like now. I'm trying to finish this anime first so I can make sure I get it done because I know that I just want to go all in on it and beat it with both characters. So
dig it.
I'll say, I'll say something that's smaller that kind of was a sleeper that I don't think a lot of people really anticipated was Knockout City. Like, I don't think a lot of people really truly expected what was going to come about of that. And I will tell you, that game is fun. It's addictive. It is.
Yeah.
I will tell you that a lot of what let that game be what it is Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. I will agree with that.
No 2 ways about it. That's just kind of what it is. Yeah. What's up? Oh, yeah.
Oh boy!
That's a show and tell, baby.
That's
show and tell. Let's go.
That is a big ass Lego bag.
You're putting your nose in the internet.
I know.
I can see your
for the internet. Hey man, make sure you. Hey, listen. Somebody clip this.
One to the left, right there.
Grab this clip.
Merci beaucoup.
See boogers.
Man. Oh. Let me put it down here. That's that.
That's it.
80 days. How bad? How?
That box is kind of dope though.
Right? Because it's a shoebox. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. That's dope.
The box in the shoebox. Yeah,
that's dope.
I do like that. That's kind of cool.
Getting what? Oh, word. All right, appreciate you. Be safe. Hey man, listen, it's a tornado warning.
Yeah, I was gonna say
9:45. Why don't you sit tight for a little bit?
Yeah,
I know, but there's a tornado warning.
Yeah,
you gonna make me do this in front of the internet?
No.
He about to.
Sit your hair pots there.
You know he gonna do it too.
Yeah, you gotta make a left joint and a right joint.
I knew there was
terrible.
Oh, I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that.
Happened.
I got lights flickering over here.
Oh yeah. Thanks for that clip.
Yeah.
Thanks for that clip. You know what I mean? Got the 3-piece, got the old baby trifecta joint. You know what I mean?
No.
We're gonna go all in. What joint were you saying was the last joint you wanted to bring up? Was Knockout City, right?
Yeah, I was on Knockout City. Yeah, that joint is clean. It plays
100%.
really well.
I only played a very little bit of that joint. I would like to get in and do a little bit of running in that, but y'all know I'm not real big on like PvP.
Yeah, we know.
You know what I'm saying? So
me and Brock actually had a discussion about that today.
I respect what it's doing. I really do. So, no doubt. I think, man, listen, there's a lot of bangers still coming this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of joints dropping. So,
September.
Yeah. I'll tell you another one too.
It's gonna be an interesting run this year.
I thought of one more. Now I haven't personally played it, But I swear to you, this dude Brock talks my ears off about this thing like I don't know what. And that is Escape from Tarkov. And he's probably convinced me to actually buy that junk next week. Like, I actually watched gameplay of that junk today. And the level of detail that this game is dedicating to try to make it like a true real life experience, you know, having weapons, like keeping stuff in your pack, like it's absolutely insane. And I will say, I will only play games on the console, but this joint has me ready to go ahead. Yes. Like I watched, dude, the amount of stuff this dude had like in his pack. Like we've seen what the Destiny, like take the Destiny Vault.
Yeah.
Imagine that times like 4, but that's like actually on you. Yeah, it's crazy. Different things that you can have.
I've seen stuff about it and thought about, I ain't no PC guy. All I want to do is play this Lego Builder's Journey joint, dog. That's it. And I almost downloaded the joint off Steam yesterday. And I was like, I don't even know if I can run this joint. I might have grabbed that joint on the Switch though. Y'all know I don't pick the Switch up unless I have to. I'm trying to tell you right now. If you look at Lego Builder's Journey, dog, that joint is the smooth puzzle chill out crap, dog. Like I'm all about it.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, there's a good chance I'm probably gonna lose power because my lights literally just flipped like three times just now.
Well, the tornado is like Seat Pleasant to Kettering, so it's like right here where we are.
Yeah, it's right above you.
That's what Cuddy just said. So
yeah,
it's a whole tight joint. But listen, we about to wrap the show up anyway because we got more stuff to record. We got to record stuff for
movie club.
This movie club joint. So about to get these Black Widow impressions in. You feel me? So look, we about to wrap this up. Jokes, you got a job to do. Let me let you do that for you go. Well, you got an excuse.
Boom.
No excuses. Yeah. Hey, listen, that Lego joint, fire, bro. They just dropped like a like an RTX ray tracing version of that joint. That thing looks sick, bro.
Oh, word.
Yeah. It just sounds incredible too, dog. Like the little clicking and clacking of the joint. It's crazy. Look, y'all know what to do, man. Jump on the link tree. Follow us everywhere. We'd appreciate it if you give us likes, and so forth. That really helps. Having y'all in here in the chat, leaves comments. That definitely helps as well. So we thank y'all for that. Sin, you have a job to do, if you would, please.
Yeah, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Deutsch, and Tyrone Carson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Yeah, Cuddy is switching PC right now. And that's it. I got a feeling that joint's going to show up in Game Pass, and that joint made me want to not pop the trigger. Because it's like $20, but it only takes like a couple hours to finish. But I might have to do it. Listen. Tomorrow night, we'll be on Twitch. What's wrong, Sin? Why are you making that face?
I'm looking at Lego's Builder Journeys. I didn't know about it, so I'm looking at
it. My man's face. My man's face.
Fire.
That was the real, like, oh, this might be a problem here.
On the Switch, you said, right?
Yeah, bro.
Okay. You have to go look that up in the store when we get off.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, so
tomorrow night, Notice Next Gaming.
Tomorrow night. Yeah, it looks like Scarlet Nexus is probably what's going to happen.
Yep, which is cool. Scarlet Nexus.
You know what I just thought of too, Sin? We keep battling to figure out what game. When that Space Jam joint drop? Because that's Game Pass.
Like 2 weeks. Something like whenever the movie drops.
That joint's a little bit black. Got it.
Yeah, it's not
I was about to be like, yeah, maybe Space Jam.
I was about to say we could run. I see you got the Justice back there. I was gonna say we could run it back with Overwatch. But it's like, nah, Scarlet Nexus just dropped. Let's run on that so people can see what it looks like and have a little fun with it. Yeah.
Rosie said that solid storm, lightning, and everything. Y'all ain't got no tornado warnings over there, do you? If it's doing all that, I can't hear it. I'm in my basement.
I got major rain going on right now.
Oh, I believe it. Right now I can't even hear it. So here's what I want to do. I want to ask each and every one of you to please have a very, very safe 4th of July. We won't see y'all again until next week. You're gonna have to wait until after 4th of July, G, to get that spoiler boys.
Spoiler boys.
Cool. Appreciate the lookout, Cuddy. Yeah. So look, y'all already know the deal. We'll be back next week. It's a holiday week, so things might be a little different. Y'all look out, man. We just dropped a TikTok, put together a little private video. I'm glad y'all took a look at that yesterday. We had a good time with that for the Everyone is Awesome Lego build. We got a couple other show and tell joints we're gonna be dropping for y'all very soon, very, very soon. With that, we got to get ourselves out of here because again, we got other stuff we got to record. So we bid you adieu. Toodles and loos.